This is the actual plane that flew over the 1995 World Cup final.
Rand Airport, Germiston. That is the Boeing 747-244B. Her name is Lebombo. Named after a mountain range on the border of South Africa and Mozambique. She rolled out of the Boeing factory over 50 years ago, and she has been places, my friend. She has been places. Our tour guide, she was absolutely brilliant.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bonolo. I'm a tour guide here.
The whole team here has that energy. They love what they do and it shows. And once you step inside Lebombo, the stories just don't stop.
So this is how the cockpit of this airplane looks like. So if you were to guess how many buttons are in the cockpit?
500.
Can go up.
Maybe over 1,000.
It has 908 buttons.
So here's what flying looked like.
This is business class. I mean, business class doesn't look too luxurious if you compare it to what it is now. Back then, they didn't have an infotainment system.
What they had was a projector.
They would play the same movie the whole time, and the cabin crew chose the movie. So for instance, if you flew to Hong Kong, that movie would be on repeat constantly. So I can think that these flights must have been extremely boring. I can't imagine sitting here for 14 hours watching the same movie on repeat. I would have gone absolutely crazy. So I'm going to take you to the black box now. It's situated here.
Right at the back of the aircraft. Because the tail section is statistically the most likely part of the aircraft to survive impact. Smart engineering, but dark logic.
So this is very, very interesting. I know with the Helderberg flight that crashed in Mauritius, they recovered the black boxes 364 days after the crash took place. And normally the retrievable information that can be gathered from a black box is 90 days. So serving back food then was totally different to what it is now. So they all would have the same meals, or for instance, they would have beef, and then the whole flight would have beef, but how they would present it is totally different. As you can see, I'm standing here in the galley. They would serve your first class meals totally different by actually cutting the meat and presenting it to you. But the catch is you'd eat the exact same food. If you look at planes now, Qatar Airways, Emirates, all the big ones, British Airways, how they present their foods is actually, it's a big thing. I know the Air France, their first class is insane, the way it's presented. And back then, it had the same effect, but I can't think that flying first class could have been that special if you had the same food, it's just presented differently. So when did this museum start?
So this museum have been here for 40 years now. So they say it's turning 40 years.
Oh, wow. And do you know how much it cost back to fly then? Because I know a lot of people are complaining about the prices, but it was seen as more of a luxury back then.
In 1971, the cost of the first class ticket, it was around 3,000 rand,
Wow.
flying from Johannesburg to London.
Sure, but back then, obviously, the value of money was,
Yes.
so it was incredibly expensive. So now we're stepping off the classic Boeing 747, or should I say the iconic Boeing 747 that flew over Ellis Park at the 1995 Rugby World Cup final. It was so cool being in this plane and very privileged to be here today.
Now let's do some rapid fire facts about this incredible aircraft, because she deserves it. She was retired in 2004 after 32 years of service, not because of any accident or failure, but simply because newer, more fuel-efficient aircraft had taken over and it was time to let her rest. The good luck Booker message is still painted on her wings to this day. She never let go of that moment. And honestly, neither have we. The SAA Museum is absolutely worth your time. Whether you love aviation, rugby, or just South African history, this place is for you. I'll drop the details in the description. I'm Joseph. This is
True Talk Media signing out.